Good day everyone, this is Gyan Live, and this is a new topic that I'm starting calling What's Going On in the World? And I'll be covering a couple of these topics due to recent events in the past couple of years and through walking my destiny process and investigating myself, seeing who I am within this world, and within this world what events are unfolding. Now, as we all know from Destiny, we are organic robots. We are robots with organic material that we're designed of, and we are programmable. And this is proof in our education system, our parenting. It's proof in anything that we have and participate in this world, that we are affected by it and we become it and we live it. That's programming. So one thing that I looked at for myself was, when did cell phones start coming out and become a big thing? Because it was very sudden. I remember in 2003, when I was 13 years old, I had a Nokia 3310, which was, it wasn't a color phone, and I had all the buttons, and all I could play was snake games and call people and send messages. And then suddenly, 3 years later, when I was 16, color phones was booming. Everyone was getting color phones, flip phones, small, tiny color phones. And everyone was just suddenly hooked on phones. And every single day, you will see people sitting with their phones like this, chatting, right? And I was one of those people. I chatted all day, every day on these chat sites that came up. It was new, it was upcoming. And 70% of your conversations were sexual. That's what comes out when you have a place to vent, so to say, what's inside of you without anyone seeing it for real. It's happening kind of secretly on your phone. And time went by, phones upgraded, phones became better. And it's interesting because the phones that we all started getting hooked on was called Android. That's the operating system. That's what it's based on. And I found it fascinating because if you look at what Android means, it means a robot with a human appearance. And now I'm getting back to my point of, we are organic robots, right? We're organic material that is programmable as a robot, exactly the same. And what better way for the elite to release certain technologies that they've already been aware of since decades ago to the public in a very specific time? The internet was just coming out, so we're kind of waiting for the internet to become a thing before they released the Android tool, the tool androids, organic robots, on planet Earth. And it was very effective because through this little device, you as the elite, could literally put in anything you want into the public through this little device. And it's got a screen that programs the person as they sit in front of it. And you can give them and feed them whatever you want them to follow. Now, the one way that the elite controls the human population on Earth is through entertainment. And I would say back in 2003, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, up until 2008, Hollywood was kind of running out of movie ideas, because you suddenly start seeing all these remakes, and they were remaking and coming up with more and more of the same stuff. Like, how many times can you remake Batman? How many times can you remake Superman? How many times can you remake Spider-Man? And the Hulk, everything was just being remade. So obviously Hollywood, which is controlled by the elite, was running out of ideas. And they had to release this a couple of years before, as it is today, to start having a new entertainment system. And this entertainment system is specifically to brainwash and mind control the people, the civilians of Earth, but at the same time to keep them entertained while they do what they do. Now, I was myself subject to this entertainment object, but I got bored of movies. I got bored of even the games and the apps, and app after app, I'll try and play a game, I'll try and do something on my phone, but I keep getting bored. But one thing that the elite knew everyone would be, and also not just entertained, but actually believe that there is something real happening in this world, was through making reality TV. Now, reality TV is where they, for example, where you have revolutions, you have uprisings, you have war, you have crime, you have murder, you have all these things happening in the world that is real, but at the same time, the elite knows that those events will not change the world. So they use it for entertainment. They use it to entertain the human in a different direction, a different way, which is where you feel politically empowered, you feel like a revolutionary because you have all these things happening and you can participate in it and you can sign petitions, you can vote, you can have a say, you can make YouTube videos, you can have your opinions being spread across the internet, and therefore you feel empowered because the entertainment system has changed from doing just movies and TV series to actually real life entertainment. And what the elite successfully did within this is they kept people in loops. Every time Greece has an uprising, or Egypt has an uprising, or Syria and Libya and everyone has an uprising, everyone thinks something is changing. But it's not. It's simply becoming a source of entertainment for the rest of the world. So people sit in front of their screens and they feel they are doing something, they feel they are achieving something, and there's something happening in the world. But in the meantime, what the elite's real plan is within all of this is to keep you entertained as much as possible while they are putting more and more of humanity into poverty. And this is actually what they want to do. They want to achieve where the majority of humanity lives on the poverty line to eventually initiate their plan of World War III. The reason for World War III is because the elite needs a reboot. They need to have a dominant stance in this world where all their structures, all their companies, all their resources and everything that they have control over needs to be reaffirmed, as this is the power structures in the world. Because the more people you have on Earth, the less control you start having. And the more you have to go to extremes to control people, such as using live TV as entertainment. So they want to initially have a World War III where people voluntarily participate in it. And the only way you do that is by putting more and more people into poverty. And because when you're in poverty, you want to survive, you want to have money, so you will gladly become a soldier, you will gladly go and fight for your country, you'll fight for freedom, you'll fight for a new world, but you're actually creating your own annihilation. That's essentially what's happening. Now, I found my timeline starting with cell phones. And this started with the color cell phones. When I got my first color cell phone was in 2006. And that's when I realized there was a major shift in this world. A shift where people went from talking with each other, communicating with each other, to being on their phones. And then I realized what was on the phones changed from personal to entertainment. And the phone completely lost its purpose of communication. Meaning between you and me, I'm calling you. Now it was suddenly this whole entertainment system that you constantly have on your phone with Wi-Fi or with data always available to you. So you can either entertain yourself with politics, you can entertain yourself with conspiracies, you can entertain yourself with your family and friends and colleagues, you can entertain yourself with jokes and funny things. I mean, you can literally find your niche of entertainment on your phone, and you are an android because you're using your android. And you are a robot with a human appearance. You're walking around and you believe that you have now freedom. But in the meantime, the elite is playing out their points where they're setting more and more countries into poverty. Just look at Venezuela. Just look at what's happened in Zimbabwe. That was their first attempt, I believe, in Zimbabwe to see how they can destabilize a country and put most of the people in the country into poverty without creating World War III immediately. Because they need to, first of all, destabilize more and more countries and put more and more people into poverty very slowly. And now South Africa is next, which is where I'm from. And if you see how they're doing in South Africa, they're using race, they're using people's history, they're using frustrations, they're using all the crimes, they're using everything that's already existed, and they're heightening it, they're making it more. And they're actually starting to put out more military force into the country. And you'll see the same happen in Zimbabwe. Military force became the dominant factor in the country. And then you can go look at Venezuela, what's happening. You can go look at all the countries, the entire eastern countries, which is, Iran, Syria, all those countries, Iraq. They have been stabilizing them for a long time. Now they are slowly but surely destabilizing specific countries to create more and more poverty, because these countries have resources. And World War III will be where you have the first world countries have a higher poverty rate. So everyone will start becoming soldiers and be willing to fight. And they will most likely start claiming the resources in the countries where they are destabilizing the countries to make the resources available, such as South Africa, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, and multiple other countries. And this isn't gonna happen right now. It's not gonna happen in the next, 5, 10 years. It will happen eventually where there is a World War III. But how it will be fought is also unknown. Because of the technologies that is available already to the secret government, if you want to call it that, the deep, dark government, they will only give this type of technology to the public when they know there's an agenda within it. And if you look at how these technologies are released, it's very sudden, it's very quick, and there it is, it's just upgrading, it's just booming. That's because there was an agenda behind it. It's not because someone just magically invented it. They've already had these technologies for decades before. So once something like that comes into public, and you realize, whoa, there's suddenly color phones or Android phones or the internet, the Wi-Fi, suddenly there's Wi-Fi. There's now 5G. Because it is planned, it's got an agenda with the general population on Earth. Now, to what extent are you aware of all of this happening? Not much at all, because we are brainwashed, we are controlled to a level that is so high that we will fall for their agenda naturally. We won't even question it. We won't even go into, wait a minute, is this normal? Should I participate in this technology? Should I participate in the entertainment systems? So these are a couple of points that we have to consider for ourselves what's going on in the world. The world is expanding. People are getting more and more. Resources are needed. There's a lot of resources, don't get me wrong. It's just someone needs to control it. Who's going to control it? And the elite needs to get to that resources, and they also need to get control back within this world. And therefore they need kind of a reboot. A reboot is only by our permission, and that's how clever they are. So they manipulate the economy, they manipulate the entertainment structures, they manipulate what we are accepting and allowing as people, and with that they're controlling us. So we believe it's our choice, it's our will, we are doing this, not them. And therefore they completely win, because we're so brainwashed through our education system, our parenting system, through the system you live in, the economic system you live in. We are intellectually, on a fundamental level, robots, because everything was given to us. It's not who we are. Every thought, every backchat, everything we have inside of ourselves is a program running. It's not yours originally. It comes from somewhere. It comes from your teachers, it comes from your friends, it comes from your parents, it comes from your uncles, your aunts. It's their voices running in your head. It comes from TV, radio, music. It comes from everywhere else except you. And that's your programming running. That is your brainwashing. So the elite has all the advantage in the world to literally manipulate the entire world little bit by little bit to a certain agenda. Now you are just a pawn in all of this, and they don't give two shits about you. So they don't mind nuking a city where you live because you mean nothing to them. What they want is to have control and the resources and to stay on top. It's as simple as that. There's no deeper meaning to it all. They just want to make sure that their family, their bloodline, their shit continues for the next couple of thousands of years and not yours. So this is where, for example, Andrew Yang, if you're familiar with Andrew Yang in America, why he most probably will not win, because he does not fit into their agenda of getting more people in poverty. They want people to lose jobs in America to robots. They want more and more people to go into the poverty line, because that gives them more consent, that gives them higher vote for when World War III will come. and people hasn't changed in that time, so it's easy to then get the vote. Everyone will say, yeah, fight for freedom, fight for our right, fight for free choice, you know, if it means killing other country and other people. All this, I mean, you get people that binge watch conspiracy theories, or there's going to be a major disclosure coming, and they'll binge watch videos over and over and over again. That's the entertainment system. You'll get people that's constantly watching videos and being updated on the news and what's happening in other countries, what's happening with the revolutions, who's standing up. That's their entertainment system now. The entertainment system isn't movies and series anymore. Those are now just basic entertainment. The entertainment has become the reality of our reality. So yeah, I hope that in the world, and for you to look and see for your Android and this world, and see where you are not in awareness participating in things that takes place in your world. Alright, this is part 1. Thank you very much.